Hello. I'm Regas Sager.
I'm Deshanel Sager.
And we're Wrecked and Certified. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you for joining in with us on today. For those of you that are out there in Facebook Live land, we so much appreciate you being with us here today as we talk about the beginning of the year. However, before we go there, I just wanted to, hopefully all of you guys had great holiday season and you spent some quality time with your families and loved ones. Like we did ours through Zoom with our extended family. Oh man, we had a scavenger hunt and we did all this kind of stuff on Zoom and we were running back to the cameras. I got it. It was really fun. So we did that, and then obviously we didn't have our major celebration that we normally have every year, but we made the best of it.
It was nice though.
It was nice. It was nice not to have the big cleanup.
Yeah, it was.
I think that was the greatest thing that came out of that situation.
We cooked
a little bit.
Nice dinner.
Had a nice dinner. It was really nice.
Spent the day in our jammies.
Yeah, exactly. And I was getting ready to serve up some other meals that didn't work out, and we had to discard and throw out. All that meat was just
rancid.
Rancid. Yeah, that's the word you were using, rancid. So we had to quickly dispense of that cow.
Baby, I'm running to Safeway.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I think it stayed in the freezer too long. So anyway, enough of that. But we are past the holiday season, and we are in a new year, 2021.
Yes.
And so we wanted to talk about today about how you set goals, visualize goals, and being reflective. And the reason why we wanted to talk about this, as you guys all know, because you watch TV, I know you do, whether you stream or you're a cable boxer or whatever, or you're on your portable device, your mobile device, we're getting all of those things about dieting.
All the ads.
All the ads.
Gym ads and
Start new, Weight Watchers and this and that. And they're selling you on the hype because it's a new year. It's right at the beginning of the year. And if you notice at the beginning of the year, it's all about, hey, turning a new leaf. I'm going to do things differently. New beginnings, new start, all that, right? And we wanted to kind of talk about this from a different perspective because we understand that it's a new year and we're all excited, unfortunately we're still in this pandemic and COVID but the vaccine is coming and all this other stuff. But what ends up happening, and we were talking about this.
Yeah, I was like, Regas, I said, I remember when the gyms were open and, you go to the gym and you can't find a machine, a treadmill, nothing. Everything's taken and you got to wait. And then by like mid-February, the thrill is gone. Everything done sizzled out. Everybody done fell off their little plans.
Exactly. You can
eating their little donuts.
Exactly. Little chips and candy bars and stuff. And you go into the gym, you can find, 8 treadmills. And you're like, man, do I like the blue one or do I like the one that's all in, chrome?
Yeah.
Whatever. But what we want to talk about here today is how do we prevent ourselves from derailing?
How to stay on those goals and not let it fizzle out.
Yeah, how to stay on top of those goals because it is so easy to get sold on the hype of the new year and everybody's excited. Oh, 2020's gone. Someone was saying this and I don't know who it was, but I found this to be so true. And they're like, well, yeah, 2020 is gone. And, when we came into 2021 and the guy was like, it's just a day apart.
It's a day apart. Yeah,
it's just a day apart.
I said that to you.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm sorry, babe.
I said that to you.
I got to work on my listening skill. No, but anyway, so it's just the next day. And so you know what? That's good. Yes, we're in 2021. But how do we prevent ourselves from derailing off of those goals that we've written down? Hopefully, you got your dream boards. Hopefully, all this is in your mind to do. Because at the end of the day, February's coming, March is coming, June is coming, July is coming, and then you're going to look back at the beginning of the year and you had all this ambition, you had all this vibrato, you had all of this, just fire in your gut and you're ready to go. And then you're like, it's June.
And I haven't accomplished anything.
Exactly. So how do we prevent ourselves, babe, from derailing and, coming off of those goals?
Well, let's start with number one. Number one, you have to visualize the goal. What is it that you want to achieve? See yourself in it. You know how you get something in your mind, you're like, oh gosh. But then doubt starts to creep in. But no, get that goal in your mind and visualize yourself in it. See yourself in them little cute skinny jeans. That's me right now. See yourself,
with that manly chest
on that new job. See yourself in that new house. See yourself with the financial goals that you want to achieve. But visualize yourself in that. And the next thing I would say is to write it down.
Yeah, you have to write it down first. Visualize it. And as you visualize yourself in that goal, hopefully that will be the inspiration for you to write it down, for you to say, okay, I see myself there. What do I need to do to get there? You write it down, and then you need to then talk about the steps or the strategy or the plan behind it.
The plan.
Because a lot of people write stuff down, they carry it right with them in their wallet, and then at the end of the year, or they're cleaning out their wallet, there goes the goal. With that old business card or something, et cetera. So you want to make sure that you visualize it, you write it down, but then you want to have a plan and you want to have a strategy behind that. How do I get to that goal, right?
Yeah. But before we move on to that, I want to go back to the write it down. So like for me, I write a list every day. I'm like, get up and, like we said, at the beginning, it's a new day. Just because it's the beginning of the year, yeah, we all set goals. But I do goals for the day. I get up, I do my devotions, and I do my goal for the day, and I write it down because I get sidetracked throughout the day. And, stuff comes up. People call you, kids, whatever the case may be. And so what I do is I write the goal list for the day, but I write it from what is most achievable. And then I work my way through the list and what is like at the end where I'm like, I really don't want to do that, but I got to get to it today.
That must be dinner because when I come in, no, I'm kidding. So anyway, I think you're right about that. I think one of the things that we were talking about earlier preparing for this is one word that you brought up. You brought up two words that I didn't bring up. You brought up excuse of not right. Maybe, hey, I'm visualizing it, but I didn't write it down. I wrote it down, but I didn't put a plan together. So you use excuses why you don't do something in life. And if you think about it, excuses, when you spell that word out, EX, excuse, EX, you're Xing out your goal. Yeah. You're Xing out that exotic trip or that financial goal or improving the better me or my physique or whatever it is. You're Xing that out when you start to use excuses. But then another word that you brought up, dear, was another word that I really like. It's called execute. And so when we get rid of the excuses to X out our goals, we can then start to execute our goals. And I think that's important because it is so easy to come up with excuses. Oh, I'm tired. I don't have the skill set. You know what? What are they going to think about me? What are they going to say? All of these different things start to kind of get in your mind and they kind of take over, if you will, and it almost paralyzes you to get to your next iteration or to get to your next goal or that next step to do. That's why, I love Nike. I'm not a Nike fan, but I love the slogan, just do it, because it means that, hey, look, whatever it's in front of you, figure out a way and just get it done. Just do it.
Yeah, those goals that are difficult and you feel like they're a challenge to you, send a friend or somebody, accountability partner that can help you achieve those goals. Say, hey, you know what? I had a couple goals on my list that, I know they're a challenge for me, but I need you to check in with me just to say, hey, how are those goals going? Someone that can just push you along. I know they have life coaches now that do that. I know that help you with those things. If you need to get a life coach or a family member, whoever it is that can help you achieve those goals. I know, like last year, and I've said this before, my brother, he sent me his goals for the year. And throughout the year, I would just check in with him and be like, hey, Charles, how's it going with the goals or whatnot? And he would be like, well, I got this done. I got that done. I got this done. And I would be like, well, how's the other stuff? And he'd be like, still kind of working towards those things. So, but yeah, it's just that person that's going to help you, give you that little extra added push and that encouragement because, sometimes when you're going through those goals, you need that little encouragement. You need that help to say, hey, come on now. Let's get it together. Even if you don't have anybody, sometimes you have to stick little stickies on your mirror or
that's right.
Write your little self notes of encouragement. Okay, I got this today. I got, even though I don't want to do this workout, God, I got this today. It's 9:00 at night, but I'm going to still get this in. Get it in and do that workout.
I think what you said there is you have to have a reckoning with yourself. Mm-hmm. You have to realize that sometimes when you have lofty goals, you need other people on board with you.
Yeah.
You definitely need other people on board. I know when I was going through some things and there were some people that were challenging me, I have some other individuals in my circle that was challenging me to say, hey man, you got this, etc. And I think that is so important. And that what you just said there talks about who's in your circle. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes we're unable to get to our goals because we've got the wrong people in our circle.
It's true.
We have people that are, hey, they're my ace boom coom and we kicking it, but you know what? They ain't trying to help me to get to my goal. Maybe you need to kind of reevaluate who's in your circle and who you kicking it with in order for you to get your goal. Financial, working out, whatever that is, you need to kind of check. That's why I said being reflective about your activities and your actions, but also reflecting on who's in my circle.
That's true, because you have those people that, are going to discourage you.
Yeah, Debbie Downers.
Debbie Downers.
Oh, man, why would you ever want to do that? Man,
or then they done took your goal, and now it's their goal.
Exactly. Now, and they got the bandwidth to do it, and now they taking and running with your goal. It's like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And so if that doesn't put a fire under you, I don't know what will. But sometimes you got to check yourself. They'll saying check yourself before what? You wreck yourself. That's what we're talking here today, Wrecked and Certified, because what we're trying to do is get you to understand that all of these different things that we're talking about, you have to look at from that perspective. You got the wrong people in your circle, you're not going to get to your goal. You're not writing it down, it's going to be that much more difficult to get to your goal.
Even, yourself can be destructive of your goals. And let me say that for an example.
Ooh.
let me talk about me for an example.
Talk about yourself.
So with me, I write goals down. Like I said, I do a daily one. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I haven't got... My ultimate goal is to be done with it before Regas walks through the door every day so I can have that dinner on and get that hot meal cooked up. But anyways.
Or the cold cut. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
But, sometimes it doesn't always work like that. And like I said, sometimes things arise and I'm looking at that list and I'm still working on it throughout the day, the evening, where it's, I know this is a goal I need to work on, is having a cutoff time. When are you I'll go to 9, 10 o'clock and where I've worn myself out, where guess what? If that thing on that list, you haven't finished it for the day, take it and put it to the next day. Take it and put it to the next year. Take it and put it to the next month. Whatever it is, don't be like me and just keep going hard for the goals. And, I say that's a self-destructive move where, it can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing, where if you're on that time schedule, but again, we have to get into, and I know Regas always says this, time management.
Yeah, you have to be able to manage your time. I know back in the day when I was managing folks, we had these little calendars, and there was Franklin the Franklin calendars, and it had P1, P2, P3, P4, and it had all these different things that you can do to manage your time more effectively and more efficiently, which was a good thing. But what I had found out that some of the managers would look at everything as a P1. Well, if everything's a priority one, you're not going to get nothing done, because by just through natural progression, something can't get done at the same time something else needs to be done. That's just the way it goes. But I looked at that time management is so important, but I don't want us to lose focus, because what you're talking about, babe, is so important when you're talking about a daily task. Yes, you push it to the next day, push it to the next month. If it doesn't have a deadline associated with it, if it's not going to cause any, whammos or anything of that nature.
Absolutely.
However, when you're talking about the goal for the year or a major goal, you have to look at all the things that we are talking about here. Visualize yourself doing that thing, writing it down, having a specific plan in place, checking your environment, who's in your circle, accountability partners, all of those things come into play. And I think that, so oftentimes, we come into a new season of our lives with great, fire, with great hopes and ambitions. And then all of a sudden it just kind of like, maybe I don't need to do that goal anymore, because someone planted a seed in you saying, oh, I don't think you're cut out for that, or I don't think you should be doing that, or you don't have the skill set for this or for that. And they're Debbie Downers. And I think that what we're trying to say here today is that you can rise above your environment if you're reflective and you start paying really close attention to your actions, because as you know, actions create habits, and then habits is mindset, and you're going to default to that mindset. It's going to default to what you're going to do each and every day. And I think that's important. Like this morning, I got up and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what? The Seahawks are playing today. And I was like, oh gosh, do I call the studio and reschedule? And I said, no, I got to be true to myself, because what I'm trying to do is create good habits, and I'm trying to create consistency where we can default into where it's automatic. Just like getting up in the morning, you brush your teeth, right? You tie your shoes. You don't think about it, you just do it. And that's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. When you have goals and you're reflective and you check your actions each and every day and you start establishing those habits, it becomes the norm. We're trying to flush out all of the other stuff that got us to here. We want to take it to the next level. And how you take it to the next level, I believe, is that you have to do all the things that we've been talking about and really pay close attention to those actions, because they're going to formulate those new habits.
So, we said envision yourself, write it down, create a plan. What else?
Yeah, create a plan. Also, check your surroundings.
And then also
be reflective.
But also with that, be flexible with your goals.
Yeah.
Sometimes we set goals where it's so high where that they're not going to be achievable. Set goals that are going to be achievable. But even if you set a high goal for yourself, be flexible with it. Okay, it may have not actually turned out how I really envisioned it, but you know what? I'm gonna keep at it, and I'm gonna revamp that thing. And I'm going to just be flexible with the plan. Okay, my plan didn't work out like this, but you know what? Let's try it a different route. And be flexible with it.
And I think that's what you're saying here is, if you have a goal and you write it down and then you come up to whatever that period is, it's like, okay, I plan on hitting this goal, whatever, June 1st. June 1st, you were short of the goal, okay? But you did make some inroads. You did make some progression. That's a good thing. Reward yourself for moving forward, but don't reward yourself for standing still. And I think what ends up happening, we reward ourselves for standing still, and then we have a pity party, and we get Debbie Downer, and we go, oh, woe is me, so I'm going to go down there and grab me a big old cheeseburger, fry, and milkshake, come back to the couch, and I'm going to watch my favorite TV show.
Why not?
And then that
How
becomes...
come you can't do that?
Well, you can do that. There's nothing wrong. You can
No,
do
I'm
that.
just joking.
But the problem with that is you're starting to formulate a habit. So
Yeah.
that's why I said becoming reflective and really paying attention to your actions is really going to help you ascertain what you need to do differently. And I agree with you. It's like a budget. A budget, you have to have a flexible budget. Well, you know what? We have $100 for gas, and that's it. Well, what if the gas prices go up to $6 a gallon? And now, what are you going to do? Well, you're not going to say, well, honey, looks like you have to walk to the store and back with your Target basket. No, you have to become flexible, and you have to work that budget. And I think that's what you're saying with your goals is you have to become a little flexible in order for you to ascertain those goals. There's nothing wrong with that.
And that's like us. You know, we have where we do a savings and we say, hey, by such and such date, we're going to have X amount of dollars in our savings account. Sometimes we hit it or exceed the goal, or sometimes we just come a little bit short of it. But guess what?
I'm still going to Sizzlers. No, I'm kidding.
We still were moving towards that goal. Okay, we didn't get it this time, but that little bit that we didn't get this time, let's tack it on the next time and start moving, add that to it and see if we can get the goal on the next time around.
And then we reevaluate what we did or what popped up during that period, because sometimes, let's be honest, life throws us a curveball. Life threw everybody a curveball last year with the pandemic. So like you said, let's take those lemons and make lemonade. But the thing about it is that you have to be able to be flexible. You have to grow with that plan or massage that plan in order for it to work for you and your household or for you and your family or what have you. Because at the end of the day, life is not a straight line.
No, it's not.
It's jagged, it's up, it's down, it's left, it's right. You know, it's all these different things. And you know what? You sometimes you have to juggle everything that you have in the air to keep things, afloat.
Keep going.
And sometimes it's difficult to do that. And I can imagine, not that we want to steep back into last year, but that curveball affected a lot of people, and there are still people that came into 2021 that are still dealing with the aftermath of 2020. And what we're trying to get you to see here, it's okay if you're there. It's okay if you're there, but this is the time where you can kind of change your paradigm. Yeah. You know what? Start looking at things from a different perspective. Start challenging yourself and say, you know what? 2020's gone. 2021 is here. Let me visualize what I want to do differently. Even though it's not ideal, even though the environment is not like 2019, that's okay. Change your circumstances because only you can change you.
Yeah. And you mentioned one of the things that reward yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself, or once you achieve those goals, like you said, babe, go to Sizzler, do something to reward yourself. Whatever, celebrate. Okay, yeah, I got my goal. Let's celebrate. Don't just be like, I achieved my goals. No, take that time to celebrate you and what you've achieved, and savings. Take a little bit out and do something special for yourself. Take a trip or save a little bit of extra so you can do those little things. Add that into the budget so you can celebrate.
I'm helping an individual with their budget, and they wanted to do some things, and we're going over their finances, and individual asked me, do you think I can do that? And I said, well, we'll have to see if it's in the budget. And we just kind of chuckled about it. But it was all about progression, because when I see the individual now where they are opposed to a year and a half ago, it is 180 degrees different. I mean, savings is up, bills are coming down, or at least some, not all, but some. But we're still trying to massage the program and get that individual to a place where they feel, you know what, I have really accomplished and I've conquered that goal. And I'm telling you, when you have a goal, and it's an insatiable goal, and it's in your gut, you will move heaven and earth to figure out how to get that goal accomplished. If you're really serious about a goal, you will get off of the duff, onto the bus, whatever. You will get things moving. You will really get things moving, and you'll find out a way to get things going for yourself. Whether, like you said, babe, get that accountability partner, write your goal down, figure out your plan, check your audience, check who's in your circle, get rid of the Debbie Downers, get rid of the people that always are telling you, you can't do, you don't have this, you don't have the right skill set, and change your paradigm.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You've got to do that, and along with that, write those goals down. That's a really important thing. And I was going to ask you something, Regas. When you write those goals down, how often should you come back and look at those goals? What would you be your recommendation for the viewers?
No, that's a good recommendation. I would say that you definitely want to look at them if you can daily. But depending on what's going on for that day or a series of days, you want to look at that goal at least once a week and then become really reflective. I think what we need to do, and I want to go back to what you said at the top of the show here, is visualizing yourself in it. I think that goes such a long way.
Yeah, it does.
When you look at that goal and you can start to visualize yourself in it, take the time and just kind of get in a quiet spot where you can just kind of go over the week and say, okay, what did I accomplish? What did I do? Because look, life is just, like I said, it's not a straight line, but every day there's something coming at you. There's an email, there's a text, there's a phone call, there's the family and children and just life in general. And sometimes it's good to get just to a quiet place where you can kind of slow down the progression of your thinking and go back and reflect of, okay, what did I do this week to help me get closer to my goal? If it's a budget goal or a finance goal. Okay, I told myself at the beginning of the year that I would only go to Starbucks twice a week, and I went 4 times. What did you do? That may sound tried and comical, whatever, but really that's a reality. Because there's so many people that will say, well, I'm going to take my lunch to work, 3 days out of the 5 or whatever. And I'm going to treat myself instead of last year I went out to lunch 5 days a week. I'm going to cut it down to only 2 days a week. You have to look at your actions and looking at your goals, what you said there, babe, is so important because if you don't do that, you're not going to know.
Forget about them.
Yeah, you're going to forget about the goal, and you're not even going to know if you're on track, if you're tracking with your goal, because you're just like, okay, because remember what I said earlier, your actions form into habits.
And that gets back to getting out your vision boards and looking at those goals and, again, reflecting on those things. Hey, where am I at? Okay, yeah, I've achieved this, I've achieved that, but where am I at for my goals? Am I on track? Am I on target? If you set dates with those, I know that when you're writing out those goals, set dates with them.
Right. Have specific dates that you can hold yourself accountable and get an accountability partner, whether it's your husband or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, whoever. Get somebody that, you can give them the goal and they're not going to beat you over the head and say, man, look, you're never going to be this or you're never going to do that. Flush them out. Get somebody that's going to say, man, you can rock this thing, girl. You can do this thing. You can get in them skinny little Levi's or whatever you wanted them, whatever them hot pants and Daisy Dukes, whatever you want to do. You can do it. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get somebody around you that's going to rally with you. You get somebody around you that's Debbie Downer and it's always Gulliver's Travels and it's always this.
Yeah.
No, get rid of those folks. Get somebody that say you can. Positive. And so I think, what we talked about here today, hopefully we've inspired somebody.
It's helped me too.
Yeah, it's inspired me because I was like, look, I got to look at my goals more and I got to, get down to my executing my plan and not giving myself excuses because, I worked a little longer on that evening and I'm tired or whatever. But one thing that we definitely wanted to do, we wanted to have some shout outs here before we conclude today about the Melanated Market coming up next week. If you want to announce that.
Melanated Market is back at the Outlet Collection Mall next weekend, and we are there Saturday and Sunday, and we'll be in the Old Sports Authority. We'll be there from 11 to 7 on Saturday and Sunday.
Awesome.
So come out, and then also we're having a hygiene drive. So if you have shampoo, unused shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, toothbrushes, deodorants, whatever it is that pertains to hygiene, please bring an unused item to the hygiene drive. Please.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Not used items. These are personal effects. So I think they got that. Yeah, I'm gonna bring my half-used Dove shampoo.
You never know, babe. You never know.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so come out, participate. There'll be a good time for you to come out. If you
support small businesses.
A good time for you to come out and walk around the mall if you're dieting or whatever. A good time to come out to Sports Authority, come down and see the Melanated Market. You may find something down there that'll help you on your journey.
Spend that stimulus check.
Yeah. If you're on a budget,
spend the stimulus check with the Melanated Market.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to go there. We're going to leave it there. But we want to say thank you so much for joining in today. And we will see you again. And we are Wrecked and Certified.
Thanks.
Take care.
Take care.